Welcome back. You're watching Bottom Line, shifting focus to Manipur now. Amid fierce objection from civil society bodies like the Coalition Against Drugs and Alcohol or CADA and women groups against the cabinet decision taken last month to partially legalize sale and consumption of liquor in the state, the government has come up with a draft Manipur liquor regulation policy. According to the draft policy, the move to legalize alcohol comes with altogether 8 main aims and objectives, which include working towards eradication of distillation, transportation, possession, consumption and sale of illicit liquor, restricting the availability of local liquor as well as IMFL or Indian-made foreign liquor and FMFL or foreign-made foreign liquor, reducing the impact of illicit and adulterated liquor on health, reducing the demand of intoxicating drinks and addressing the menace of illegal drugs, besides generating employment and generating revenue for the state and address the problem of the black marketing of liquor on account of prohibition. Well, this draft policy has been in circulation since last evening, and we spoke to the CADA last week on this, and they had maintained the opposition. We are once again today joined by Geet Chandra Mangang, the Secretary General of CADA, the Coalition Against Drugs and Alcohol Manipur, and what is his view on this. Welcome, Geet Chandra, once again to Bottom Line. The government, as you know, has come up with a draft Manipur liquor regulation policy despite the continuous protest by organizations like yours. Your first reaction to this development?
Basically, the draft Manipur liquor regulation policy, which was been viral in the social media yesterday, but we also have a confusion that is this the real document of the government or something else who are distributing or for the social media or something, but we have doubt, is this the real document? So I'm very tough to comment on this because the draft policy doesn't have any signature, even though they have not been published in the Gazette. Before, we have known that many policies that the draft has been published by the Gazette, even though the administrative secretary has signed in the document, but it has no document, even no seals of the government side. So this was the first reaction that I'm confusing. This is the genuine letter of the government or not, and if this document is been a white paper or the draft Manipur liquor prohibition regulation policy, then some question are been in our mind is that the government has been stated that they are doing this legalization for the regulation of total regulation, which the legalization will help in the regulation of mass consumption of liquor. But in this draft, that is not clearly mentioned about how to regulate the regulation. And the next one is the health consequences. We have all know that Manipur is been harshly affected with the liquor consumption, and also the Honorable Chief Minister and the Honorable Minister also mentioned in every public function that by this legalization, the health consequences like liver cirrhosis and kidney damages will be decreased. But these were not mentioned in the draft.
But
so how we can trust this government's stand?
yeah, yes. Firstly, coming to your first point that you only got to know about the draft liquor policy from social media. Yes, there are no signatures on it, but government sources have confirmed that it is genuine. Again, if you go by this draft policy, and as you are talking about health concerns, the government has put out around 8 main points, and of which one of the main objectives is to prevent sale and consumption of illicit liquor so that there is no harmful effect on the health of the people. And the draft also highlights the government's bid to prohibit manufacture or sale of local brew inside Manipur without safety certification. So the government is saying that their main aim is to safeguard people's health. Right now, people are drinking toxic liquor. Once this policy comes into place, a crackdown will be on illicit liquor. That's what the government wants to project.
In this, we are asking that they have mentioned in the part A that is prohibition any manufacture and sale. The part one, the one in the part A, the government has trying to prohibit any manufacture and sale of local brew and local liquor. So we are asking that how will the prohibition will be doing on. So we all know that beside the prohibition, the government fails to implement and the government failed to prohibit in our state. So what is the mechanisms for prohibiting this other liquor which are being sold in every places, nook and corners? So what is the mechanism to prohibit this? And the second one is the raw materials. So they will support, they say that they will support the manufacture of local brew and local liquor with FSI certification mainly for the for sale outside Manipur. But what is the raw material? We are asking that we have problem of this scarcity of rice in the state, but what is the raw material which will be brew of liquor of local product? So this was not also mentioned in the draft. And we are also asking that the government has claimed earlier, they have claimed about the revenue collections of 600 crores of rupees, but in this draft they did not mention the above state because they have earlier mentioned. So this was also been missed out. And in the part B, the state government has also mentioned that minimum distance about 100 meters from national highways, hospital, educational institution and place for worship will be ensured. So this point was contradicting with the Ministry of Road and Transport Highways
basically
the direction of the Ministry of National Highway Road Highways is in my hand, that it was issued by the executive engineer of this road highways, and it was issued in 1st June 2017. That it also mentioned
so
that
what I get,
the
sense that I get is that
along with the national highway should be not less than in the distance of 500 meters.
So basically the sense that I get is that there are a lot of issues that need clarity. There are a lot of issues in this draft policy where there's a need for discussion that need clarity. Now, the government is saying that its aim is to prohibit production of illicit liquor. But it is also a fact that successive governments in the state have been unable to do so. In Manipur, of course, it's one of the states where liquor consumption is high, among the top in the country. So do you think by bringing this new policy, draft policy, now the government will be able to successfully crack down on the sale and consumption of illegal liquor? Or do you think this promise will merely be on paper? Because as of now, when there's a total ban, the government clearly, successive governments, let's not just blame this government, have not been clearly able to impose that total prohibition as far as Manipur is concerned. What's the guarantee when the liquor policy will come, the regulation policy will come, they will be able to do that?
We have full doubt that the government is trying, and we also have no understand about the draft. You know that Manipur, the problem of liquor in Manipur has been harshly affected from 1991. That is, we have reached about 30 years problem. So they have produced only in a 2-page. This is only the objectives. This is only the objectives what the government is trying to, but it has lots of the address to be needed. Lots of what the people's desire was not mentioned. So the explanation about why the government is trying to do this legalization was not clearly mentioned in this draft. So we have full of doubt why the government is taking this decision, and the bill, the draft bill which is been producing in the public was not clearly mentioned about the health prospect and social prospect, and especially another is the revenue prospect also, as the government has earlier mentioned.
Have you received any indication, any invitation rather, from the government, the authorities for discussion on the issue, or there is still no communication yet?
No. We do not have any communication from the government. They did not try to engage us, and also we did not get the draft liquor policy from the government side. We get from the social media, which was been viral from yesterday night. So we do not get an official letter or invitation, any document from the government on this issue.
So, Geet Chandra, my last question to you, what is the CADA's next course of action?
CADA is now still demanding the white paper, which will include all the problems that we are facing, and we want the answer from the government that the problem which we face in the health, social, economic and culture should be addressed in the white paper, that we cannot assume this paper as a white paper. This is just a draft and this is just an objective of the state, so we cannot assume as a white paper. So we are demanding a white paper which include all the aspects which we have earlier mentioned. So we will discuss the after the prediction of this full what we call a white paper, then we will consult with the state government. Now our CADA has no desire to meet the government officials on this issue, so we are still demanding the white paper, and also we will continue our sit-in protest and other protests against the government stain.
Thank you so much, Geet Chandra Mangam.
Thank you.
Geet Chandra there. The CADA will continue its protests, not happy with the draft policy. Staying with Manipur, well, with no reassurance from the government on the demand for inclusion of indigenous Meitei community in the ST list, the Scheduled Tribe Demand Committee of Manipur, or the STDCM, has announced a mega public convention on October 13th to decide on their future course of action. Let's listen in to what the STDCM leader had to say on this.
Today is the 41st day of our sit-in protest demanding inclusion of Meitei in the Scheduled Tribe list of India. And we have been going in for the democratic form of agitation. And we're happy that yesterday the Honorable CM Shri N. Biren Singh, on a question by the media, said that the issue of inclusion of Meitei in the Scheduled Tribe list has been discussed in the cabinet, and they are further discussing to bring about a consensus. We are happy that a positive step perhaps seems to have been taken up by the present government. But what is our request and also the demand is that the government has been considering the issue for quite some time now. We would expect the government to take some proactive step to take up appropriate actions towards sending the requisite demand recommendation to the government of India. And we will urge the government again to take the necessary action in the shortest possible time.
Well, mega public convention planned. We are joined by our Imphal correspondent Sharat Chandra. Sharat, patience running out as far as the STDCM is concerned. Mega public convention planned for October 13th. How do you think will be the turnout, Sharat?
Well, Navarun, you see, this Scheduled Tribe Demand Committee, Manipur, has launched its press agitation from this 26 August. But yes, Scheduled Tribe Demand Committee Working President Lokendro speaking to Northeast Live, he stated that their democratic demand has not been heard by the government. So they're going to have a public convention on 13th of October, and which will decide the future course of action. But yes, SCDCM, Scheduled Tribe Demand Committee, Manipur, have already been indicated that in case the government is not going to heard with this democratic form of protest by the Scheduled Tribe Demand Committee demanding the inclusion of Meitei community to the Scheduled Tribe list of Indian Constitution, then they will intensify their agitation so that government could heard it and could did it. But yes, Scheduled Tribe Demand Committee, on the other hand, also.
So what sort of agitation can we see? Sharat, what sort of agitation can we see in the days to come? What do they mean by intensifying the agitation? What sort of agitation
you see, Nabrun, you see that the Scheduled Tribe Demand Committee have already stated that the government usually don't heard this democratic form of protest. Whenever any issues comes up, any organization, civil bodies, while they taking the democratic form of protest, government never heard. So that is the indication from the SCDM also this time. They are today the SCDM, the Scheduled Tribe Demand Committee is quite disappointing that government is not heard with the Scheduled Tribe Demand Committee democratic form of protest. So that is the reason on 13th of October they will have a public convention and will decide the future course of action, probably intensifying the agitation, demanding the Meitei community, inclusion of Meitei community to the Scheduled Tribe list of Indian Constitution.
Sharath, how has been the support so far for the movement? We haven't seen much of a public participation like the way we see in Manipur as far as this protest is concerned. What is your observation?
Navrun, you see, so far as this Scheduled Tribe Demand Committee demand is concerned, getting support from other civil bodies. Yes, in quite some time we have witnessing this agitation launched by the Scheduled Tribe Demand Committee. But the Scheduled Tribe Demand Committee is now just putting its demand with the Scheduled Tribe Demand Committee alone only. But yes, the Scheduled Tribe Demand Committee is launching its statewide protest. They have demonstrated their protests across the state, very particularly in Imphal East and Imphal West. But yes, Navarone, you see, CADA in the meantime in Manipur, they are also staging protests demanding to revoke this legalization or to revoke the lifting of prohibition of liquor in Manipur. At the same time, many civil bodies also having their own demand, and likewise, the Scheduled Tribe Demand Committee is also going alone. Yes, in the days to come, after the 13th October, this public convention, it remains to be seen that whether any civil bodies are giving support to the SCDCM or not.
Absolutely. Big day, the mega convention, 13th of October, mega public convention will clearly show the way where the movement is heading. At the moment, of course, a couple of issues or more to deal with as far as the N. Biren Singh government in Manipur is concerned. Well, that's a wrap of Bottom Line tonight.